The Ashes are over. This series is over. With 3 games to spare, Australia take a 2-0 lead, and it's all over, ladies and gentlemen. It has to be. England have not won a test match in Australia in the last 17 attempts, and now they must win 3 in a row to win the Ashes, and 2 with a no result or a draw to at least draw the series. Look away. Now, in terms of doing a recap, we have to start with the team selections. Big talking points on day one. England bring in Will Jacks for Mark Wood, who we knew was going to be out injured. Australia make 2 changes. They bring in Josh Inglis for Usman Khawaja, who was out due to injury. Travis Head moved up to open the batting, as he did in the previous test match. But the big talking point was Michael Neser. He came in for Nathan Lyon. They felt that this was a pink ball game and Lyon wouldn't do a lot of bowling. And they went with Neser. It's his home ground. He's got a good track record. Let me adjust the camera. He's got a good track record, and they felt he also added a little bit to the batting, and that would be so important. England win the toss. They bat first, which was hugely important. There were a lot of talk about the pink ball games, their relevancy, but also when the periods are to strike. You want the new ball in that twilight period when the light is fading and the artificial light is taking over, or at the night when it was moving a lot more. But they also said the pink ball gets very soft. Now that doesn't matter if you're Ben Duckett and you get out in the first over to give Mitchell Starc another wicket in the first over. But then Ollie Pope gets out very quickly. Australia quickly 2 down. But then Joseph Edward Root scores his first ever century on Australian soil in a test match. He scores his century. He gets a little shrug at the end, and he did a phenomenal job. Unfortunately, everybody around him didn't do much. Now, Crawley, to his credit, off from a pair in the last game, gets a good 70 odd. Unfortunately, next one trying to pull. And then from there, it was just rinse and repeat from the first game. It was embarrassing. Not the motive dismissal, like they score 334, which is unders. I don't know how to say that to you. Like, Jamie Smith doesn't add much. Harry Brook, Steve Smith held Mitchell Starc back for over an hour into the second session. Didn't start him up front. He was holding him back for the twilight period. Harry Brook just flashes that one wide and gives his wicket away. Exposes Ben Stokes. Exposes the rest of the order. Root's obviously well set. It didn't take long and Stokes was gone, and then Smith was gone, and then Jacks was gone, and then Atkinson was gone, and then Carse was gone, and they just fell apart. And Archer and Root add 50-odd runs, get England into day 2. There were no tactical declarations, and then Australia come out to bat. Their first 4 partnerships or whatever were all 50-plus runs. They were like 290 for 2, or 290 for 3. England get a little bit of control back. They get Smith and Green out after Weatherall got past 50, after Smith had got past 50, after Green nearly got a 50, after Marnus got a 50. The only person who didn't get a 50 was Travis Head, but even he put on a good opening stand with Weatherall. They get a little bit of control back, but then on day 2 they drop 5 catches. Head gets dropped, Carey gets dropped twice, Neser gets dropped. They dropped 5 catches, 4 in that final session. Now it's hard to take 10 wickets. It's harder to take 15. And Australia finished, day 2 a little bit ahead. But what was most important is at the crease was Alex Carey and Michael Neser. English not able to add a lot. I added a 20 or so. It was the first time everybody in the lineup got to double figures since in a very long time. The whole Australian batting order got to double figures. So Neser and Carey come out. They both get out in the first session. And then Mitchell Starc and Scott Boland proceed to play a perfect test innings. Really. Mitchell Starc gets 77, but it's not about that. Him and Boland kept those England bowlers out there for another 2 and a bit hours. 2-3 hours. They bat 3.5 hours or so on day 3 to get the new ball at twilight, which was so important. and they reduced England to like 134 for 6 at the end of day 3. It was atrocious. Atrocious day from England. It was the worst day of Test cricket if you're an English fan because of a few reasons. The bowling at the lower order and even the top order was poor. They were still in the game on day 2. They were not in the game at the end of day 3. The result today was inevitable. They came out today and Stokes and Jacks did their absolute best. They added about 60-odd runs in the 24-25 overs they had in the first session, but they didn't lose a wicket. The only session in this entire series, in the whole 6 days it's gone, that no wickets fell. But Australia didn't concede a lot of runs. England got to 16 ahead. They didn't panic. And England ended up losing 4 for 17 to set Australia 65 to win. Stokes does get 50. Jack's got 41. But the tail just folded like a house of cards. And Australia get the 69 for 2. Travis Head chops on. Marnus gets a ball that jumps a little bit. Archer has a go at Smith. And then proceeds to get whacked for a couple of boundaries. It's really funny. People always talk about Jofra Archer and, he's got Smith's number and stuff. He's never got Smith out. He's hit him in the head more times than he's got Steve Smith out. He's concussed him more times than he's got him out. So I don't think he's even the appropriate guy to be having words. He bowled his fastest spell when it was not needed. Mitchell Starc, player of the match, and you can't say he doesn't deserve it. He picks up 8 wickets in the match, including a 6-for in the first innings. The man is ridiculous with the pink ball, but that's 77 with the bat. Showing all his experience, all his grit and determination. He wasn't worried about runs. Australia weren't worried about runs. Yes, they got a 170-run lead. I guarantee you they would have taken 100 runs. It was about the time that they batted. They kept the England bowlers out there for over 100 overs. And it was the time that they got bowled out at a perfect point. Doggett adds a few runs right at the end. Perfect time. And Australia were clinical in every department. The bowling was on point. They bowled at the stumps. They bowled good lengths. They kept the mode of dismissals. They didn't go too short too often. Their fielding was phenomenal. Go look at this. Alex Carey was brilliant with the gloves. Absolutely incredible performance. He kept up to Boland and Neser, kept up to the stumps. He was phenomenal. Steve Smith takes some incredible catches. Josh Inglis gets the run out of Ben Stokes. Marnus Labuschagne gets a fantastic catch to remove Jofra Archer to end the innings. They were better in every department. The England bowlers didn't bowl well. Their batsmen in the second innings, in the first innings, didn't play the situation as well. Like Mitchell Starc batted better than their entire top 7. Top 8 with Jacks. That's a damning indictment. Like, he made it look that England should have got 400. He delivers an all-round role. And the problem for England, you look at it, Australia are going to get better. They had no Khawaja, they had no Lyon, they had no Cummins. You would expect that those players come in for the next test match. How do England get better? How do they regroup? The series is over. Australia are going to win. The question will be, can England get in the fight? And also, they have to take the next test to 5 days or win it. Otherwise, they will break the record for the fewest days it has taken to lose an Ashes. The record is 11 days. We've had 6. The next test has to go 5 days to tie the record if they lose, or they will break it, or they must win. It's not looking good if you're an England fan. If you support Australia, you must be absolutely loving it.